Hi everyone, Crocs and Socks here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Megan Thee Stallion album, Traumazine. This is a new surprise LP from Houston's own Megan Thee Stallion, a follow-up to 2020's Good News, which dropped almost 2 years ago at this point, which is kind of funny because it does not feel like it at all, especially with the vibes on this new LP being so dark and angry and fed up, because still at this point, Megan is processing the trauma as well as working through the drama surrounding the polarizing shooting allegations she made against rapper and singer Tory Lanez that year. Now, while Good News was far from a perfect record, the brave face attitude of the whole thing was admirable, with the title being a cheeky reference to all of the headlines Megan had been making around that time. You also had the intro track, which did dive into the Tory ugliness a little bit, but the rest of the project's hypersexual bars and smash hits pretty much showed Megan not allowing the chaos to get to her, which is kind of the opposite for Traumazine, where Megan is completely letting all of her pent-up frustrations fly, and it's easy to see why. In the aftermath of the 2020 allegations, Megan has not only been dealing with rumors from Tory's legal team, but also loads of frankly sexist lines have been getting drawn in the sand among hip-hop fans, social media news pages, internet commentators, which is obviously pissing Megan off because much of the time she seems mostly content to just get on with her career. She honestly gets nothing out of playing the situation out in a people's court, as it won't change the legal outcome, and she'd probably fill her pockets faster by making hits or performing. But as long as the drama is there, I suppose it is smart of her to take advantage of the situation by making new tracks here in reference to it, especially since Tory pretty much already did the same on that cringe-ass Daystar album. So of course the opener NDA features this grim little trap beat topped with strong, authoritative bars about NDAs, lawsuits, rumors, as well as people attacking Megan for marketing purposes, which, if you've been observing everything happening to her in the media over the past year, is pretty much true, and it is great to hear her on a track kind of venting about this. The production's okay, and there's not a strong chorus to be had here, really, but still, it does get a big, bold message across that sets the tone for much of the rest of this record. Ungrateful runs a similar play with lyrical references to subtweets, stirring the pot, drama, but we also get a very so-so basic beat choice on this one too, and the key glock feature in the second half doesn't really add too much to the recipe. And don't get me wrong, even when there are shortcomings on these tracks, Megan's badass flows and deep, unwavering vocal delivery does a lot to close those gaps. But still, at the end of the day, she's not a miracle worker. Occasionally, she does breathe life into a beat I don't think anyone else could, like on Gift and a Curse, with its little dollar store Casio piano licks. So yeah, while that can happen, most of the time I would say Megan does kind of need a song and a beat that feels specific to her personality, as well as rappers who match her energy, because it's a little awkward to hear her spitting so solidly and then just moments later Pooh Shiesty struggling to find the tempo on Who Me. But similar energies is exactly why the track Budget is so great. Megan and Lotto are a match made in heaven on this track, with their respective bad bitch auras, as well as sharp bars about their growth and obsessive haters. Plus on the beat side, the chimey, mesmerizing synthesizers and very chunky 808 hits are a perfect pair too. But of course, Megan can handle some of these tracks on her own as well, like on the song Not Nice, which features a smooth nocturnal beat with glossy keys, a melodic bass line too, over which she drops some of her meanest bars on the entire LP. There's a lot of betrayal and bitterness on this one. Seems like Megan, whoever she has in mind for this track, was close with and supported this person in quite a few ways at one time, but then eventually evolving into savage roasts about roaches sharing snacks with their kids. But a lot of these angry vengeance vibes start to melt away a little bit as we transition out of the first third of the record. Then Traumazine becomes more of a mix of a bunch of different things. Miss Nasty, for example, is a smooth, sexy bop with a classic mid-paced southern flow. Sounds like mixtape Megan from 2018, 2019. It's pretty good. Then Red Wine is one of the sexiest slow burners I think she's ever done, with breathy little choruses and bars about shooting up the pussy like it's an op, saying her throat's like a dungeon because you can get trapped in it, and hitting it from the back so good you need Geico. But I'm not as crazy about the change of pace on the song Scary, which at first I was excited about because Megan and Rico Nasty on a track is a team up, especially with Rico hitting some slight horrorcore vibes in her verse in the second half. But man, the spooky ass beat on this thing is terrible. It's packed mostly with these very bad, cheap Halloween Halloween cassette compilation stock sound effects. It just makes the whole song sound goofy and just not very serious at all. Plus that Ask Jeeves bar, I don't think people have been asking Jeeves for a while now. That's got to be one of the most dated references I've heard a young rapper make in years. The track Anxiety, though, is one of the more serious cuts on this project, and the sentiment is true as well as cute that, bad bitches have bad days too. But still, the bars across this track do read as a little surface level. It kind of feels like Megan is trying to tailor a very serious, somewhat mental health-driven message for an audience of people who are mostly just expecting her to do hot girl shit, which is unfortunate because I really do think she could have gone deeper with it. We get a kind of short, bland, underwritten Lonely at the Top jam with Flip Flop, a smooth R&B tie-in with Jhené Aiko on Consistency, which is not just about getting good dick, but getting it consistently, which solid tune and message all around. I mean, we don't want this wishy-washiness, this wasting of time, especially with a melody that good from Jhené on the chorus, and also it kind of seems like instrumentally there may be a bit of an interpolation of the Isley Brothers between the sheets on this one too, which is pretty cute. That works nicely. The final leg of this project from here is a bit choppy. The song Star has so much auto-tune and so much weak singing on it from Meg that the appeal of her voice entirely is kind of lost in the mess. Not to mention this track has the most unflattering chorus of the entire project too. Pressurelicious with Future I was not crazy about as a single, but comparatively with some tracks on this thing, it does sound a lot better, even with its redundant beat and Megan and Future having little to no chemistry here. Megan truly does most of the heavy lifting on that cut. Then there's Plan B, which has a very classic boom bap groove to it that feels like it's a little late era or maybe at the start of the Bling era aesthetically. Either way, she sounds fantastic vocally and flow-wise. She couldn't be more fit for this vibe. There's almost, I say, a Notorious B.I.G. Energy coming off of it in the best way possible. There's a lot of super dominant bars on this one too. Dick don't run me, I run dick. The only accolade you made is that I fucked you? The savageness really does come back on that one. And then we have the Southside Royalty Freestyle, which is one for the Houston heads. I like that Megan made room for a track like this on this project. Bring through a new face like Sauce Waka, as well as a few vets, Big Pokey and Lil Kiki. Sample on the beat is great, respective verses solid, but then ending things off with Dua Lipa's Sweetest Pie doesn't really make the most sense. I mean, I know Megan and Dua put out this track very proudly, and I'm sure it did numbers, but it's not as fitting a closer as the Royalty Freestyle, and the generic rap pop crossover vibes just give big Target commercial energy, almost kind of undoes some of what the record had been building up until that point. Despite all that though, I did come out liking this project a little bit more than Good News, even if it doesn't seem like on the surface there is as much hit potential there that Megan is as going all out on the production side. For sure, Meg's going a little more raw than she is commercial this time around, and I think it's exactly that leads to some of the hardest and most badass tracks on this entire project. But still, with that being said, it's pretty all over the place too in terms of quality, style, songwriting. Hopefully next time around, Megan is coming through with some stronger song ideas, chorus ideas, as well as production that's just a bit more colorful and creative. I'm feeling a light to decent 6 on this one. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Megan Thee Stallion, forever.